Coinbase pumps. It has joined the big boys in the S&P 500. Rhodium dumps. Not too much, but we'll take a look at that. Is it still in its bottoming formation, or is it going to head down from here? And we talk about learning how to take your lumps. All this and more. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, damn man, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and the synchronized slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together. You must do it audibly with me and the Good Morning Stackers crew right here. Whatever you're drinking, non-fluoridated water. Got a little bit of news on that too. Interesting little prediction came true, of course, as they always do with me. Let's slurp them together. Ready? 3, 2, 1, slurp it. Go. Thanks for joining us live on X and on YouTube. I'm Joe Main, random Australian dude. Been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, stacker of silver, a stacker of Satoshis. So a stacker of silver since 2010, a stacker of Satoshis since 2013, Bitcoin, crypto, all that sort of stuff, and a stacker of skills, well, since my entire lifetime. And that's what we do here. We stack a whole bunch of different things. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. And speaking of said GS family, the early birds catch the shout out. So we'll do some quick shout outs, say good morning to people, and then we'll talk about said topics of the day and do usual gold, silver, platinum analysis and Bitcoin, crypto, take a look at the charts. Good knackers, O'Reilly, GMS. Hope everyone is doing well in their gold, silver, and crypto. I absolutely agree. Give me 1 second. Can you do me a favor, though? I'll do some quick plugs right here. Can you do me a favor? Please follow me over here on Facebook. Why? I need to get to 100 plus followers on here. Pretty recently created new thing here, but I want to go live on Facebook too. So if you're not a Facebook liker, follower, can you do that? So that's facebook.com/the Joe Main. Not it's Joe Main, the Joe Main. I know it's the only username that I could find on that. Get me over 100 followers, then I can go live on Facebook too, if you're that kind of person. And can you really give me a follow here as well on X? So that is x.com/it's Joe Main. I'm live right now. Give me 1 second. You get to see me do this in real time. Watch this. I just changed this right here. That's not the one I wanted. I needed to go over to here. Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves for about 2.3 seconds. Count it, 2.3. No, it's a little bit longer than that. Here, watch what I do. It's just amazing. Look at me. Tell me what you're drinking right now. We're going to talk about non-fluoridated water in just a second. That was not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to share that screen first, did I? No, I did not. Give me 1 sec. Let's see. I wanted that and that and that. Yeah! There we go. Now we're going live. I've got all my updated stuff. I'm having to do this just so you know. I'll get back to the shout outs and whatnot. I'm having to do this because I'm not doing the live 2-minute theme song at the start of the show at the moment, just to try and get the engagement up a little bit quicker at the starter of the show. So we'll see what happens. I do miss the theme song, but we do play a bit of a theme song at the end as well. GMS says, Tony Peterson, good to see you. Hazza, good to see you, my friend. Synchronized Slep, gotta love it. Richard, g'day Richard, hello sir. Rio Tinto Limited looking good. Oh, interesting. I might have to take a quick look at that. Morning Joe. Morning Jason, good to see you. Mark, Florida man. Ooh, Florida man is in the house. I could use Udio, just like I used Udio.com to create my theme song. I could use Udio.com to create a Mark Florida is in the house song to whatever genre you want. Like on all platforms, yes please, that would be good. Joe's FB link. You're the best, Tony. Love you, mate. Good on you. That's it. Let's get into today's stuff. What shall we talk about first? Let's do the newsy kind of stuff. All right. Let's talk about some recent news. We've got Coinbase pumping. We've got a bit of other stuff. Let's quickly check all that stuff. Got a couple of things to show you on X, a couple of little things, and then we'll talk about, we'll do Rhodium, we'll talk about taking your lumps, and we'll talk about all the stuff we do, plus all the analysis things. Anyway, let's start with, I'm going to start with this one here. Just interestingly, I did talk about, remember, the last few times we've done the synchronized slurp, I've been telling you that I'm using non-fluoridated water. Absolutely delicious. That is with my gravity filter. And I have my gravity water filter with fluoride-specific things. It gets rid of all the other stuff, plus fluoride as well. Fluoride ain't good for you, people. Just look it up and all that stuff. Doesn't really do all that much for your teeth, and more so just spends a tiny bit of time on your teeth and most of the time in your gut, going through your system, doing crappy things. Preferably if you can get rid of it, good. If you can move to an area that doesn't have fluoridated water, even better. But if you can get rid of it, do get rid of it. And I said recently, because RFK Jr. has gotten in as the the health guy on in Trump's admin, he would be probably talking about that very soon. And just so happens, let's see. This is from Mario Knopfel. He's a great go give him a follow. He's a great person for daily news and things like that. FDA wants to ban fluoride drops for kids. Dentists say that's a cavity-sized mistake. Nah. The FDA is planning to pull fluoride tablets and drops for kids because they say swallowing too much may affect the gut. Yep, the thyroid, yes, and even possibly lower IQ. Yep, these drops are often given to kids in towns without fluoride in their water, but dentists say that without them, tooth decay will surge. I don't necessarily believe that's true. It's ridiculous, and it takes away the choice of parents to allow their children to have better health. It doesn't make scientific sense, unquote. Meanwhile, Health Secretary RFK Jr. calls fluoride industrial waste, which it is, and says the faster it disappears, the better. I absolutely agree. Do your research into fluoride. Okay, the dentists are going to say it's great. Well, okay, why is that? Did they go to dentist school and they learnt about, one subject, 1 hour, 2 hours on fluoride, and that's, well, it's just really good, and we've been doing it for decades, and that's why you do it. Okay, have they actually researched and looked into what fluoride does? Okay, where it came from, how it came about, all that sort of stuff? Probably not. And is there big dentistry, big fluoride in, just propping up dentists and saying, no, it's really good here. Come on our junket to, the Bahamas, and we'll talk to you about how good fluoride is. You want to bring your family too? Oh, yeah, do that. Right, all that kind of stuff. So I think that is a great thing. So that's the fluoride thing. Now, let's talk about Coinbase has pumped. Coinbase being the coin stock. So listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Let me find it right here. That was just something else I was looking at. That's Beach Energy Limited. I watched ASX Trader's video this morning that he brought out. And he talked a little bit about BPT. So put that on your watch list. But let's take a look at Coin. Coin right here. Coinbase has pumped 24% in the last 24 hours, roughly. Is that on the daily? Yeah, something like that. About there. Cool. Why? Bitcoin's at nearly all-time highs, and it also just joined the S&P 500. Okay, so because of its market cap, the S&P, and I guess some other reasons, it has just joined the S&P 500. Okay, the stock market's version of making it. If you make the S&P 500 as a company, you've really made it, because it's the biggest leap since Trump's 2016 win. Okay, why? Now big funds now have to buy it. Okay, so it's joined the S&P 500. It's made it to the big leagues, and now every single fund manager has to now include it in their portfolio, I guess. It's been a wild ride, down 26% in February, 20% in March, and now this, all while Bitcoin just passed $104,000. Coinbase earned $65.6 million last quarter, announced a $2.9 billion deal to buy a crypto firm in Dubai. Okay, and backed the 2024 election with over $75 million in donations. There you go. Hang on, and back to the 2024 election. Okay, let me check something. Who did they donate to? I'm going to assume they did. Brian Armstrong come out in favor of Trump? Okay, give me 1 second. I want to find out more. Who did Coinbase donate money to in 2024 US election? Give me 1 second. Let's find out. Just out of interest, I'd like to find out. What did Brian Armstrong do? Key donations by Coinbase. Fair Shake Super PAC. Coinbase donated 75 to Fair Shake. Okay. Left-leaning. Okay, so left-leaning. Coinbase donated $75 million to Fair Shake and its affiliated PACs, including Protect Progress. Well, Protect Progress, that's going to be left-leaning, and Defend American Jobs. Oh, right-leaning. Interesting. These PACs supported candidates across both parties who advocated. So basically anyone that was pro-crypto. Okay, so interestingly, if people come out now and say, oh, he just donated to Trump. No, he donated to a left-leaning one that were pro-crypto and a right-leaning one that was pro-crypto. Okay, cool. Yeah, fair enough. Spent over 134 million. Okay, cool. What was the split? I'd like to know. Individual contributions by Brian Armstrong. He donated 1.3 million to various candidates across the year, just crypto-friendly people. Okay, cool. Yeah, so donated, well, $3,500 to a Republican and $1 million to the left-leaning one. So he seems like he's more left-leaning, but if there's a bit of pro-crypto on the other side, he'll do that. Interesting. Good to know. So that is Coinbase. That has absolutely pumped 24%. Let's take a quick look at its price and where could it potentially go from here and where we are in its, I guess, its cycle. You can see on the relative strength index, and I'll move the OBV out the way. Relative strength index, it's just headed back into extremely overvalued, so it won't spend forever there, although you can, once you get in, you can spend a bit of time there. Okay, so when we got in here, it had a bit of a pump. So it could pump a little bit more. Okay, so this is at 257 US dollars. When it floated on the stock market in April of 2021, it opened at $430. It then had to move all the way down to $32. Wow, that was back in 2023, and just a beautiful move in the last couple of years, all the way up to $350, and that was back in December, just gone. Okay, December, Trump got in. Look where the top was, right there, on December the 6th, right there, one day after the US election. Okay, so people were going, Trump, crypto-friendly. If he gets in, it looking like he might. So, Coinbase is like one of the only, I think it's still the only crypto-based stock you can buy that's on the stock market. Could be wrong about that. My apologies, but it's definitely the biggest. And it's now the first crypto company to be listed on the S&P 500. So that's a big milestone. Okay, big dump there, down to $150. Now, here's what we've done. We are currently in the zag zone or the zig zone, whichever one you want to call it, between the 0.302 and the 0.618 from this high and this low. So if it starts sailing through here, and you're going to find some resistance bang on there because you've got some trapped money here, right about there. See that in there? There's a little bit of trapped money. So you will find a bit of resistance here probably, and that's at $270. Once it gets through there, maybe forms, heads back down, wherever that is, and then breaks there again, you're looking really good for a new all-time high. Okay, so do something like that. Find resistance roughly here, come back down to maybe, I'd probably suggest 245. That's where your support would be, and cross through there, and you're looking really good for coin, okay, for Coinbase stock, coin listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's do some larger Fibonacci and get rid of all of you. and get rid of, I'll hide you, and pop you in. Now here is the larger Fibonacci from this high, the all-time, the opening and the low. So actually the all-time high, which is where it opened at $430, and the low of about $32, has this Fibonacci from this high and this low, has the price respected that? It looks like it has, hasn't it? Interestingly, look, it found exact resistance at the 0.382. Now that wasn't a major level. Okay, there's a bit of a cluster of prices. This is why I find, again, Fibonacci so damn amazing and fascinating. Okay, is it because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy? Is it because is it this magical thing because we live in a simulation and it just follows those rules? I don't know. Don't really care, but it does seem to respect it. So the 0.382 at 180, we then found basic support here. Yeah, previous resistance becomes support, so that's fine. You could call it that instead of the magical Fibonacci stuff, up into the 618. But what did it do? It rejected that level. Okay, so there's your 0.382 to your 0.618. In there is where the major buying and selling has been since it got in there. Okay, a little bit of an outlier there. It failed to crack through the 0.786, right, from this high and this low. And then you had what it would be called, I guess, a liquidity grab right there, where it broke here. It probably triggered some people's stop losses, and then it was a fake out. So now we're back in this zone. So on the shorter term time frame between here and here, we're back in the zig zone, and between this longer term time frame, we're back in this zig zone right now. And gee, what do you know? Okay, I just realized it is basically at the exact same point at 270. So I'll show you right now. If I overlay that, isn't that interesting how it works? Watch this. Let me get rid of you and you. Let me overlay that and that. That's basically exactly the same. So the 618 and the 618 from the big one and the little one is exactly right there, around about that $270 to $275 mark. So that's your key area. Trapped money there, previous resistance. So yeah, absolutely. You clear here, get out of there and find that resistance, maybe come back down to, that 245-ish. And then if you do that, game on for coin. Like, I don't see any other major resistance at all, because where are the buyers? If you have a look here, where are the buyers? There's a little bit there, sure, but that's it. No other buyers. Maybe a little bit here, and that's it, but that's tiny. So you'd be looking for I'd say a good move in coin, provided, obviously, the general stock market is looking good. The general stock market right now is looking good. Let's take a quick look at that, just out of interest. We'll do that now, and rather than do it later. We don't want the S&P 500. We want the NASDAQ, but out of interest, the S&P 500, look at all that flotsam and jetsam right there. Right there. Yoink. Is now through the 0.786 level. Looking good. Looking good for a potential continued pump on the S&P 500, which would also mean that the NASDAQ, which would be, you'd fit Coinbase under the NASDAQ kind of thing, right? Tech and stuff, has also done the exact same thing. Look at that, push through the 0.786. So far, we're looking probably higher for the NASDAQ, probably higher for the S&P 500. It is yet to even peek its head into extremely overvalued on the relative strength index down here. Once you peek your head into here, you can spend a bit of time. So I'm expecting, personally, unless we just tick over, or some kind of black swan event, but if it's par for course, we're going to see some higher highs in the NASDAQ. How high? Don't know. Watch out for here. That's the 1.618 from this high and this low. You could probably see it around about 25,700 for the NASDAQ. That could set that up for getting into extremely overvalued and then starting to, have a bit of a tick over move. So watch out for there, 25,000 to 26,000 for the NASDAQ. But that's what I'm saying about all this, is that's just giving total credence for coin, if it breaks through here and does that, to continue its move as well. First crypto company to be part of the S&P 500. How long it stays in the S&P 500, we don't know, but so far so good. Congratulations to Brian Armstrong and the Coinbase team. That is that. I'm going to talk about, speaking of Coinbase, I'll talk about this one very quickly. No, actually, I'll go back. No, I won't. Let's do some... No, we're going to take a look at the other stuff. So let me just go back to the comments and read a couple of those. Amazing how crypto... Here we go. Amazing how crypto is the biggest campaign contributor in the last election, and now the getting all these carve outs. Oh, Jason. Good morning, says Cam. Good to see you, my friend. Just another coinky dink. Yes. I got myself shadow banned from commenting on video and shorts again last night. Tony, the powers that be don't want anyone saying Google something plan. Don't know what that even is. I might have to look. That means I might have to look that up myself. The price of the Berkeley filters have skyrocketed in recent years. Yes, I bought the competitive version of the Berkeley filter. I bought the Pro Pure. Now they're called Pro One, but they were called Pro Pure. Now they're called Pro One. Great. A big Berkeley recently arrived here to replace the old one. We gave kids. Good on you. Let's see. Sodium fluoride and fluoric acid are waste byproducts that instead pay millions to dispose of. The government pays to put this waste in tap water because there was some kind of very weak association that fluoride helped kids' teeth and people's teeth. Pros, cons. Pros, cons. Cost-benefit analysis, that's called. Morning all, says Sino's Adventures. Great to see you, my friend. I know I'm going back here. Cool. Anything else to say? No. Discovered a recent replacement filter company, but I do not want Joe to get into trouble by mentioning the name. Oh, okay. In case of... yeah, I'm fine. Mention the name. You're welcome to name drop here. Fine with that, Mark. Go for it. All right, let's do the other topic, which was Rhodium. I want to talk about Rhodium, but we'll do that as part of the larger precious metals and crypto look at. And we're also taking a look at Toshi today. I want to take a look at TIA because that's having a bit of a pump that I talked about yesterday. So crypto doing all right too. Let's get to all the day's market scans and stuff. Speaking of markets, though, if you want to be a better investor, which you do, of course you do, you want to join Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. They have amazing educational courses, Australian owned, operated by ASX Trader. The wonderful ASX Trader, as you know, started this thing a year or so ago, or a couple of years ago, Mastering the Markets. They've got their 10-week course, or they've got their year-long intensive course as well. So if you just want to be a better investor, think about doing the 10-week course. If you want to be a full-on trader, which I'm really considering doing, which I'm planning on doing, the 12-month course, they've got that one as well. Of course, it costs money, but you really get what you pay for, as far as I can tell, because I've been a member. And if you just want to be a better investor and just find opportunities that you may not be able to have found on your own, don't want to do a course? Just join the Mastering the Markets Academy, academy.masteringthemarkets.com. Okay, why? They've got the free version. You can see all the public stuff, okay, ASX Traders stuff and everyone else's, posted a new video, people post on there, okay, but the back end stuff is the real golden ticket stuff, okay? If you join Mastering the Markets Academy, the monthly subscription, which I'll put a link below to after the show is finished, if you join it only for the educator calls, only for those, okay, man, you would be learning so much, and you don't even have to buy one of the courses, okay? You don't even join one of the courses. You'd be learning so much just imbibing all the information. For example, twice a week, you get ASX Trader looking at the markets. Twice a week, you get, let's see what's coming up. You get Jonathan Evans talking about time scales and a different way at looking at investing using time rather than price, okay? Twice a week, you get Craig talking about his weekly market scans. He does it there. You get Tung's Macro Sunday. You get Week at Markley Scan with Frank Watkins. You get Craig, everyone else here, Craig Dickinson, Craig Tapping, all these amazing fundamental analysis. Now, if you want to learn about fundamental analysis, not just technical analysis, how to read, how to read earnings calls and all that kind of stuff, right? Craig Dickinson is the fundamental genius. Okay, you've got ASX Trader and some of the other guys here. They're great at technical analysis. Craig Dickinson is your FA guy. Okay, he does a weekly live stream as well. So learning how to pick the right companies. Okay, not just based on technicals, but based on fundamentals. And you've also got amazing people like down here. You've got Shane, who is an Elliott Wave master. He's a master Elliott Wave technician. So he posts here very regularly saying, oh, based on Elliott Wave, I'm looking at, lithium, and there's a bullish potential on that. And all this and platinum. And look at all this, BTC, Bitcoin. So if nothing else, you just join for these guys and their knowledge. Chef's kiss, brilliant stuff. That's Mastering the Markets Academy, academy.masteringthemarkets.com. I'll put a link below after the end of the show to the sign up page. That is that. Just wanted to show you that. Cool. Let's get to all the gold and silver and rhodium stuff. Let's find it, my funky people. You are watching Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, talking about precious metals, crypto, everything live. Ooh, here we go. Cool. Excuse me one moment, and I'll get rid of you, and I'll get rid of you for shame. All right, people. Here is gold on the daily time frame price in USD, $32.50 US cents. So far holding, but so far I'm still expecting further downward movements. That's really all I have to say about that. Could I be wrong? Yes. Could we have a potential bullish hidden bullish divergence playing out? Also potentially yes. So yeah, watch out for that. That's where you've got a higher high or a flattening out and a lower high. Let me start that again. It's where you have that was completely wrong. It's where you have a higher or flattening out low, right? So it's just flattening out there. I think technically it's slightly higher, and then a lower low on the relative strength index or the oscillator that you are using. It's a very weak hidden bullish divergence. So I'm not going to say it's definitely happening at all, but it's very weak. It's more so convergence. That's pretty flat. Some would argue it's on a slight decline, so you can say it's very slightly hidden bullish divergence, but I wouldn't bet on that just yet. At the moment, just looking for lower prices at the moment, which I think we are still going to do. Could be wrong. That could be hidden bullish divergence, and onwards and upwards we go. But as you know, we did not hold this area here of the final boss of 3,440. Quick breakdown, we're right down below, and nothing's saying at the moment that we're heading onwards and upwards because you take it from this low and this high, and we didn't even remain in the zig zone right here. Didn't even remain in this area, so that got taken out very quickly. That broke down. I'm expecting this to happen. What we do from there, I don't know. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. Could we have hidden bullish divergence and we just sail up from here? Sure. Balance of probability, though, while we're down here, lower prices coming. Where down to? Don't know exactly, but I'd be watching out first for about $3,000, $2,900 to $3,000. I think it is that. Is it that trend line? No, it is not. It is not you. It is not you. Yeah, it is. No, it's you. It's that one right here, down to that trend line around about there at sort of 3,000 would be par for course again, because don't forget, we've been very high very recently, okay? And just coming down to retest this very simple uptrend line. Yeah, look at that. You've got a few uptrend lines, all right? You've got the larger one going back from November of 2022 through these 2 points, sure. Then you've got this one here between October 2023 and February of 2024, sure. And then you've got the February 2024 and this recent one here at December, right? So that's the first one you would need to get through. And yeah, if we are heading lower, you'd probably find a bounce here. If you don't find a bounce here, you'll probably, hopefully, find a bounce here. And if you don't bounce here and you crack through the mother of all trend lines, which, as we all know, is the mother of all trend lines, goes all the way back to 1980, that's not great. Okay, then you'd be looking at this big one down here. And now we're talking $2,200, $2,300. I don't, on balance of probability, that's not the one that I think that will get broken. So I don't think we break the mother of all trend lines. Let's just start with, I think, probably down, another $250 down is doable. You'd want to see that hold right there, and then just onwards and upwards we go. Yeah, fantastic, and then break, and then we're all golden. Okay, and that's taking it out into the the second half of 2026. That's the most likely scenario. Okay, for 2025. I meant the latter half of 2025. That's the most likely scenario, down to about 3,000. Watch out for there. It'd start freaking people out if we got down to about 2,800, and I don't see that. That's like a 5% chance at this stage. That's gold, but I am expecting lower prices. Short answer. Let's go to silver, then we'll get to platinum and also take a look at rhodium, because rhodium has had that dump. Here is silver on the, randomly, the monthly time frame, $33. Nothing much to say. Still on its merry way to break 35, which I think we will. And that's the final boss. Nothing to say. Sorry, that's it. Crack 35. We golden. If we head down, watch out for the max pain at that downtrend line. That's anywhere down to $24 roughly. I'm not saying that's definitely happening. I'm not saying that's definitely happening first. That's more likely to happen first, and I'd say that's a 10%, 20% chance at this stage. So 80% sure heading in that direction next, 20% chance heading in that direction before we have a major turnaround, which we would. This is max pain right here. 1% chance that we break down below $24. 1% chance. If you did, not good. Okay. Silver is on its way up. Why? Gold had a massive run. Silver will follow. And then what will follow after silver? Platinum. Here is platinum on the daily time frame. USD 990. Just hovering around this area that we need to close, which is 1,000. It's also coming up against this downtrend line. So around this general area of confluence is where we need to get through there. Then we'll start talking, looking really good. Okay, looking really good. Getting out of that longer term accumulation pattern that we've been in for a good period of time. Okay, between that kind of like 840 roughly area to like $1,000, break out of there. We have had, just like Lucy in the football, it has faked us out a couple of times, right here and here. Really, for me, I'd really want to see that $1,100 mark preferably taken out, but breaking 1,000 is a good step. Break 1,100 and then onwards and upwards we go. That is platinum. Let's take a look at rhodium, because this is one that I mentioned in the title of the video. Here is rhodium on the daily time frame. It's taken a big old dump. Now, it's not that huge, but we are going to see if it is now not worth getting into or considering getting into. Where are we? Look, so far, I would say it's par for course. So we're not out of the woods just yet, okay? We did crack below the zag zone, but we've just spiked below and we've just stayed above. So that's actually fine, okay? So it has had a bit of a dump. Overnight, we dumped from around about $520 down to $450. In precious metals, a 13-14% move in a day, that's you call that a dump in precious metals, okay? Is that a dump in crypto? No. Is that a dump in micro cap mining stocks? No, okay? But in precious metals, you'd call that a decent dump. Okay, but here's the real positives. We just closed, and we opened the new day. Yeah, we've just started the new day as well, and we closed right at the bottom end of the zag zone. So that's fine. come down there, test that as support. That's fine. It needs to now hold a support very soon, maybe nowhere below that downtrend line, which goes through the previous highs up there. Won't bore you with that. And it needs to get back into here and start clearing right there. Got to at least clear 525 US dollars. Then fine. No problem. That's fine. That's fine. Easy. Cool. Onwards and upwards. And then, of course, we talk about if it does cross over about 620 to 680, then that's looking really good for rhodium. So the short answer is this could be, I wouldn't do it here, but this could be a buying opportunity. I wouldn't be buying here because I'm looking for confirmation of closing above previous highs. Okay, you could take the gamble here. Some of you might go, look, rhodium, it's looking great. Let me get rid of all this stuff for you, just so you can see it all. Price range, all of that, and hide you, not hide you, hide you and hide you. That's a little bit better. Some of you will be going, look, downtrend line. We've had a massive bottom here. Looks good. Everyone loves a massive bottom. You've got that right here. And then a breakout, a retest of this downtrend line. Oh, that might be a great place to get in. And you could be right. But because we didn't break this previous high right here, it was a failed move, fast move to the downside, you can't say for certain. So for me, it's at least got to clear here and this larger downtrend line, or the next one, major one, through there and there. So you clear here for rhodium, and then you're looking great, and then I will consider taking a position into rhodium. By the way, for the new people, and welcome to all the new subscribers overnight on YouTube and on X. This is a rhodium tracker. It is not the physical rhodium. I love stacking physical silver, gold, platinum, but I don't stack physical rhodium. It's too hard to find. Yeah, the premiums cost too much, and there's GST in Australia, and the buyback rates are very, very stupid, like 50% of spot price. Okay, you'd have to go with something like this, which is a physical rhodium tracker. So it's tied to the physical price, except it's just tied at 1/10 of the price. So you can see the price right now is 464. You can't see that. It's right here, 464 US dollars. No, 464. Is that going to be 464 pounds? Give me a second. That's going to be 464. No, US dollars. Sorry, we did do that last time, didn't we? 464 US dollars. You can't see that because my head's in the way. It's 464 USD, 1/10 of the price. That means rhodium is $4,640, right? But it just tracks the price. So that is the XRH0 listed on the London Stock Exchange, although it is priced in US dollars. Okay, that's the best place to buy rhodium. Don't bother with the physical. All right, so that is rhodium. Had a bit of a dump for precious metals, but not saying it's time to give up on rhodium. We're still okay. Cool. That is rhodium. Speaking of precious metals, you should be buying from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, greatest bullion dealer in all of Australia. I will show you something. Give me a second. Can I find it? YouTubey, let's find it. Can I find it? Give me 1 sec. I'm going to find it. Let's go Perth Bullion Exchange. I want to show you something very, very quickly right here. Yeah, there it is right there. Ricky at Perth Bullion Exchange made a video yesterday that got released called "Your Shipping Will Now Be Mostly Cheaper or Free." Now, as you know, Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au does free shipping. Okay, you buy 20 or more items, you get free shipping. That's been their business policy from day one when they launched the business last year. He just posted this video though, saying that one of the carriers that they go with, it's called Team Global, I think it is. He's recently renegotiated their prices, so you're basically going to get some cheaper prices from them. In most cases, if you live way out in the back of beyond, then probably not. If you want it sent to a PO box or a parcel locker, then it has to go via Australia Post, so you'll probably be paying more because Team Global don't go to PO boxes and parcel lockers. Okay, and then he also mentioned that some people, and this is why I'm mentioning it right now, also some people had a little bit of issue with the free shipping option. Some people didn't get free shipping when they had 20 or more items in the shopping cart, so they paid the shipping. Here's where I think it's gone wrong, and I've let Ricky know of this. So let me just show you, and this is a plug for Perth Bullion Exchange as well. Let's go and add 20 items to the shopping cart, okay? And I'll do this. So, and you can have 20 or more of any item. You can have one of this, two of that, three of that. You can mix and match, okay? But we'll base it on 20 of one thing. Okay, so if I go to add one of the Royal Mint Britannia quarter-ounce silver coins, okay? So I've added one, and let's go up to the shopping cart. Now you're going to see that there'll be a not checkout. No, Joe. This is a, excuse me, don't want that. I don't want the checkout. Excuse me. I want the carts. There we go. Extended plug for Perth Bullion Exchange, but I really want to show you what was going on here. Okay. Here's what happened. You want to buy one of these. You would never just buy one of these and then get it shipped out to you. Duh, because you're paying more for shipping than you are for the actual coin itself. But the shipping via Australia Post is, is $19 something. Okay. Now let's add add 19 more. So we'll add 20. Now let's see what happens. Update the cart. Here's what happens, and here's where I think some people are getting mixed up. Okay, because there's a bit of a bug in my opinion with the, and I've told Ricky this myself. You can still see that there's, it goes, the default is a shipping charge. Okay, I don't know why, because I'm not logged in, it hasn't got my address there, so it's assuming that I want it to go via Australia Post. If I had my, if I was logged into my address, you would see the Team Global charge, which would be a little bit cheaper. But here's right here, look, free shipping. There's the free shipping option. It's right there underneath. What I think some purchasers and buyers of Perth Bullion Exchange are doing is they're not seeing that they need to click the free shipping option. Okay, I've explained this to Ricky. I think probably other customers have. What needs to happen is the developers on the back end of this website need to change when it ticks over to free shipping. That needs to then become the default option. If that's possible, I think that's a good idea because some people are going to get caught out and go. And also what it does for the business is actually can dissuade people from buying because they go, oh, I've got 20 or more items in my shopping cart and I'm still charging me shipping. I'm not going to buy from Perth Bullion Exchange. All they have to do is just look a little bit further down and go, oh no, the shipping's free. But you have to choose it. So, however, it's a layer of friction, and whenever there's a layer of friction involved, that can create problems. So, I hope Ricky can get the developers to remove that layer of friction and make the shipping charge the default. So that's just letting you all know. If you go there, you have 20 or more items, and you don't see the shipping charge free straight away, it's just going to be underneath. Cool. That is perthbullion.com.au, the greatest bullion dealer in all of Australia. Let's go to Bitcoin, crypto, and see what the hell that's been doing. Chart requests I may not have time for, but let's see. Let's find out, my party people. Excuse me. Here we are. I knew that would do that to me. Hit the big red subscribe button, will you people? Thank you very much. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars. 104,000 roughly. So far, so good. So far, so good. From this low of 90, this daily low and this daily high of 105,000, we came back to test exactly the 0.382. So technically it did get into the zag zone. Okay, it spent time here very briefly. That's very bullish. If you do that and then bounce off there and just continue upwards, that's really bullish, okay? So far so good, and we've closed yesterday. We've just opened the day. We closed the last 24 hours above the 0.336. That's really good too. Now, can we tick over and head down from here? Yeah, sure can happen. On balance of probability, though, I'm expecting higher from here. So at the moment, I'm expecting higher for Bitcoin in the next 24 hours at least. and I'll give that a 70% chance at this stage. As you know, I never say 100% going this way or this way. It's all based on what the market is doing, and you never know what can happen. So, but on balance of probability, 70% chance higher on Bitcoin. Could be wrong, could tick over. Okay, that's why I give the 30% chance in the opposite direction. And if it does, you do not want it to close below right here at $98,000. That would signal heading down to that 96, and the more likely you test that, the more likely it is to be taken out, and that's bad news. Not great. That means I wouldn't say fully bad news, okay? But yeah, you don't want to be stuck. No, you don't want to close there, because that is, I'll show you why. That's breaking the previous higher high. Okay, so we made a higher high. Yeah, you want to find that as support. And where does that coincide with? Exactly at that 0.618 zag zone. So yeah, don't close below there. Close below there, then you're probably heading way lower. Okay, not good. So positive though for Bitcoin at the moment. Let's take a look at others. We've had a bit of pump with the altcoin market as well. Let me show you the Bitcoin dominance just quickly. Here is the Bitcoin dominance. So as this is going down, altcoins are doing better than Bitcoin. So if you're in alts, which most of you are, okay, in crypto, most of you are in alts, most of you aren't Bitcoin maxis, cool. If you're a Bitcoin maxi, you want this to see this climbing. If you're in alts, you want to see this dump. Had a beautiful dump. It actually has, it cracked through my alert. I got alerted a bunch of times this morning that we're back down through this previous resistance level. That's good. Now, what goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. Okay, so you might find a bit of support here. So watch out for a bit of a support level. You don't want to see it break back above around about here at 63.25. Okay, preferably not there. Okay, that's not good if you're holding altcoins and you want them to go up. You want to see this continually just dump. So something like that, that comes back and becomes resistance again. That's good for the altcoin market. Bear in mind, people, we're already in extremely undervalued already. Well, not extremely undervalued, but we're getting down into this area. You don't spend forever there. So I'm expecting probably a bit of a rise soon in the Bitcoin dominance. But let's take a look at others, the altcoin market. And then I'll take a look at Toshi, and I want to show you TIA as well. Here is others, the altcoin market minus the top 10. Twice now in the last 48 hours, we have butted right up against the 0.382. So the top end of the zag zone. Very good to see. One test, big spike, held above the 0.236. Second spike, right all the way down, and the altcoin buyers went, yeah, no, we're still in, man. Closed above the 0.236. I would suggest that probably the third time would be the charm. My bias would be to the upside, but what I would want to see is here and then have a spike here. That would be good, and then that closes back above here, and then we're onwards and upwards. So that's good. So on balance of probability, look, I actually think Bitcoin might have, in the next 24 hours until our next live session tomorrow, I'm expecting Bitcoin to have a bit of a rise, and maybe altcoins to having a little bit of a dump in the next 24 hours, but I don't think a massive one. I don't think we probably come back to test here again in the next 24. I think we might come back to test here this time at 275 billion. You want that to, as I said, bounce, break through there, and then very likely onwards and upwards with altcoins. Cool. That's what I foresee for the next 24 hours, roughly. And, if you're dollar cost averaging, just do that, rather than being a trader. Let's see. Anything specific I wanted to talk about? Yes, there was, of course. Let's take a quick look at TIA. I did mention this yesterday as one to watch out for, because there have been a bunch of crypto that have done quite well. We're talking Pepe, we're talking GRT, we're talking ENA, we're talking Toshi. We'll get to Toshi in a minute. But this is one of the ones that has been a slower creeper, and it's only just broken its market structure, right? So just there. So in the last 24 hours, what did we do? We had a bit of a scare, but I did tell you I took a small position into TIA. And I took another small position yesterday as well, once we finally broke through the 0.618. So here's what happened in the last 24 hours roughly. We came up, broke market structure, 24, 48 hours. Then we came back to retest it. I was watching for here. I didn't buy here because it could have just sailed back down through. I was watching for the following, where we do this, there's your low, and then I was waiting for it to clear right here at the 0.618 at around about $3.20. I took a position once we broke through there. So I took a second position, I should say. My first position was around about here. My second position was around about here. And so now we're onwards and upwards through. Needs to remain and hold. 1, 2, 3 tests of resistance at around about $3.40. See, this is the thing. If in the next 24 hours, I think altcoins in general may have a little bit of a dump. I'd have to say the same for TIA, but there are individual crypto which can be outliers and either remain steady while everything else goes down, or have actually pumps while everything else is going down. So on balance of probability, it's looking good for TIA at the moment. Let's show you on the daily time frame. Yeah, I just need that to break at $3.40, and then we'll have a bit more of a pump. That's looking potentially good on the relative strength index. You have got no, that is not a bearish divergence. You've got room to move into extremely overvalued, so you've got room to move for a further pump before we start to get overly extended. I would suggest it's probably going to come here in this area here. I'd watch out for that $4.50 area I think I had previously drawn in. Why? Because you can see it very clearly. Horizontal line right there. It goes through a massive area of previous buyers. Okay. Trapped money, trapped money, trapped money, trapped money, trapped money. All these people who got in here thinking, oh, this is the bottom, man. We are golden. It's onwards and upwards from here, folks. 1, 2, 3, even here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, areas of trapped money, and then it finally broke through. And then what happened here at resistance, a lot of these people went, oh, screw this game, I'm out, and then it dumped. I would imagine if you come back here again, you're going to go into battle with these guys again. Now, because we had one battle here, and then we've had that subsequent move, the battle will not be as big once you get here. And as you know, as I often say, the more you test a major level of resistance, the more likely it is to be taken out. That's because the first battle, beat them a little bit. The second battle beats them a little bit more. They're a little bit weaker on the second time through. So on balance of probability, if we come back up to 450, watch out for it, but it's more likely to be taken out. Doesn't mean it gets taken out. If it gets rejected here, you'd want to find support at around about $2 to $3 roughly. And then the third time would possibly be the charm. The more times you do it, the more likely, okay? Because it gets weaker. These guys here get weaker and weaker and weaker the more times you test them at the front line, if that makes sense. Cool. But if this breaks and holds $4.50 and then retests it as support, you are looking really good for a further pump to the major area, which is up here. Sorry, it's a little bit liney. Up here to that $9.50 area. So from $4.50 to $9.50. Okay, looking really good. Those are the areas you need to watch out for. Watch out for 450. I will be I'm defensive here until 450. I won't let my TIA position ride until it clears that 450, and then I'll just let it ride for a bit and see just where it goes and what happens. I'm just watching it very carefully between where I'm in now and $4.50. That is TIA. It's a good buy for me personally. You do you. Let's take a look at Tosh. I will take a look at it here. Let's take a look at Toshi on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars. We are looking a little extended, and we might have a little bit of it's looking like it's doing it so far. We got to the very top end, the bottom end of my zig zone right here, close to it at that 0.001 area. We got pretty close, okay, 0.0009 something. A big move. After a big move, you have to come back down. That's pretty much it. So I'm expecting a downward movement in Toshi in the next 24 hours at least. And you'd be wanting to watch out for between here and here, you want it to not break. Excuse me. You don't want it to break down below here at 0.00058. So expect to go into this zone, preferably if you want to see onwards and upwards really quickly, a quick bounce off the 38.2 and then onwards and upwards. That's great. A longer move, which would take a little bit longer to recover, would be down to the 0.5, and that's at 0.00065 right there. And then the one which will scare people and go, oh no, that's actually right there at support. Again, isn't that interesting how Fibonacci works? Look at that massive support. Came up to here, and that's exactly at the 0.618. God, I love Fibonacci. That would start to scare people a bit, and some sellers will go, oh, I hate this game. I bought up here, and now I'm all the way down here. I'm getting out, and that's where it fakes you out. And then takes a little bit longer still to recover, but that's where it recovers. Okay, so if crypto is going through a continued bull run, watch out for no lower than the 0.00057 mark, please. And thank you. That's Toshi. I'm expecting some lower prices. Let's do that one, please. That would be good. Those are the levels you need to watch out for. Comments, queries, questions? Did I cover everything I needed to cover? Yes, I think I did. Let's get to some comments and stuff. Let's see. Jason says, oh, I just want milk that tastes like real milk. That is a famous ad, Australian commercial. Yes. I used to get milk direct from a cow farm. When I lived in South Africa, half the bottle was cream. Oh, yes, please. Although I don't drink milk anymore. It's too carby. I have maybe a tiny bit of milk every now and then. But as you know, I live the zero carbohydrate lifestyle. Misty Mountain Farms, full cream milk from 100% Jersey cows, non-homogenized, tastes like, oh, wow, cool. Although it is pasteurized. That old joke, pasteurized milk. That's an old grandma joke. Give Joe a second. Yes, give me a second, people. Let's see. Have I missed any double bottoms? Well, Jason loves a double bottom. The default is paid shipping. You need to manually click free shipping if you have 20 more. Yes. So we want to get Perth Bullion Exchange developers to change it to free shipping as default when you have 20 or more. That should be a pretty easy do. Is a tube of coins considered one items? No. Great question, Knackers. A tube is not considered one items because Perth Bullion Exchange only sell in individual units. So you are correct in that there are some bullion dealers that have American Silver Eagles, right? Buy your individual ones, right? And you could buy 20 individuals, or they have a separate product page that says just buy one tube of 20. But Perth Bullion Exchange don't do that. So you want 20, you just buy 20. So you can buy a tube of coins, a tube of 20 coins, free shipping, Australia-wide, sign-on delivery, insured, all the good stuff, except it's for free at Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. Thank you. You answered my question. Or 25 dependent type. Yes, now here's the great thing. If there's some coins, here's the great thing. I know it's plugging the company, but it's just we're talking about it anyway, okay? You know, they're my brand sponsor and all that, but they're the best bullion dealer in all of Australia. Here's a good thing. If there's certain types, take Canadian maples, okay? If you normally wanted to get a discount on Canadian maples at other bullion dealers, you would have to buy the full tube of 25 because they come in tubes of 25 rather than the standard 20, okay? But at Perth Bullion Exchange, for some reason, if you don't have enough money for 25, you're like, I only want 20. I only want 20 silver maples, okay? You can buy 20. You'll get the free shipping. Now, you might not get a volume discount because the volume discount, I think if I check the website, it's probably for 25, but your free shipping covers the volume discount. So you can get 20 American Silver Eagles, Canadian Maples, if they're on their website at the moment, which I don't know if they're in stock at the moment. But yeah, shipped free. You don't have to buy the full tube. How good is that? Let's see. With Tudor Beasts, yes, correct. So it's again per item. So if you buy, so it's not per ounce, it's per item. If you buy 1 times 10 ounce Tudor Beast coin, you don't buy 2 and get free shipping. You've got to buy 20 of the units. Okay, so that's why when you want something from Perth Bullion Exchange, let's say you want to buy a 10 ounce bar, or something, a couple of 10 ounce bars, or if you want to buy 2 10 ounce bars of silver, or something else. So if you want to buy, a kilo of silver, well, you just add 19 more 1/4 ounce Britannia coins, and then you get your free shipping on 2 kilos of silver, right? If you want to buy 5 kilos of silver and you want free shipping, add another 19 of the cheapest item on the website, then you get free shipping. Come on, man. Let's see. Bitcoin to have a big push, then a big dump. You could absolutely be true on that. Yes, I think in the next 24 hours, we might see a little bit higher, but that could be getting into bearish divergence. So yes, you could be right. A little bit of a further push, maybe a triple top. Triple tops usually aren't a thing. So if we get to the previous all-time high, 109,000 roughly, you'll probably see a bit of extra selling going on there. But usually triple tops, I don't see a massive dump there. I don't think you head down to, $20,000 or anything like that. Pregnant Bitcoin. Joe likes a lot of positions. Too many innuendos, not enough innuendos today. Think Joe has studied the Karma futures. Love it. Our maturity level has dropped. Yes, it has dropped, just like Toshi. Boom, boom. Love it. Tony Pearson, my mum always used to say, little girls grow up to be ladies. Little boys grow up to be big boys. Hug your inner child. I do agree with that. You got to hug your inner child, man. Do absolutely agree. We talked about, yes, made by cow is cold pressed. Yes, raw milk. First one I know that can be sold without being pasteurized. Yes, although can't get it at the supermarket anymore. They trialed it for a while. It was quite expensive. And then, at least in Woolies, I don't think you can get it anymore. Maybe still in Coles, but yeah, Woolies don't have it anymore. I was buying it for a little bit. We're in trouble now with Joe reading the comments. No, that's fine, because Tony Peterson is the chat mum and she's the admin, and she's part of the mischief today. So, yeah, exactly. Quick hide behind me, boys. That's it. I can't ask for price matching. I generally do my silver shopping in the wee hours. Oh, okay, sure. Right, yeah. I see what you're saying. Can't get at Harris can get at Harris Farms. Harris Farms, I don't know what Harris Farms is, but thanks for letting me know. Any final comments or queries, anything before we go? I will let you know. We won't go yet. I need to give you some heads up on some stuff. So give me a moment. And thank you for following me on Facebook. Thank you. Once again, follow me. Give me 1 minute. I just got to go over to here and I'll show you something. Bear in mind. Let me go over here, and I just want a couple of quick announcements. And I've got to let you know of what's going on in the next couple of days. Give me a moment. This week, no, I've got an alert popping up. I can do you. Give me 1 second. No. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. Cool. Let me share the screen. No. Yes. Share the screen, people. Do you live in Newcastle? I know one of you does, and I've forgotten who it is. Do you live in Newcastle? Come and see the U2 show, Achtung Baby. Yes, I am a Bono in a U2 tribute band. Been doing that for the last 5 or 6 years. That's me right there. That's me. Look at me. Look at me, people. That's me right there. Look at me, all sexy. That is me right there doing my thing. This is in the There's sort of the 80s era U2, all right? We do an 80s era set and we do a more modern era set. The Desire Tour is coming to Newcastle. Okay, this weekend rolls in through Newcastle and Sydney. Let me get me out of the way so you can see me. Let me get me out of the way so you can see me better. All right. Would you like to? Do you live in the Newcastle area and you want to see me do my thing? Come to Flamingos Live. It is called. It used to be the old Lizottes. We've played at Lizottes a number of times, and now they've changed hands. Called it Flamingos in Newcastle this Friday, the 16th of May. It is the Desire Tour plus greatest hits as well. We've got that different era thing going on. 80s era in the first set, and then sort of modern hits in the second set. Or do you live in Sydney and you're around the Workers Blacktown area? Come to Workers Blacktown on the Saturday. So Friday show in Newcastle, Saturday show in Sydney. Cool. And here's why I'm telling you all of this. And if you go to the U2 show Achtung Baby, follow it, just find it here. It's facebook.com/U2 show Achtung Baby. And you can find the ticket links, or just hit me up with an email at gmstackers@gmail.com and I'll send you the ticket links, etc. Come and see me do my thing. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, and I'll get right back here. Don't I look sexy? Look at me. Here's the reason. Because of tomorrow. Tomorrow you will get a show from me in the morning. And then I'll be leaving for doing a sort of it's 13 hours or something to drive. So I'm leaving on Thursday, staying somewhere Thursday night. So Thursday, tomorrow, you will get a show. Friday, however, I'm unsure. So don't automatically expect a show on Friday, because I'll be waking up in Gundagai. And if I have time to do a show, I'll do a show, but I'll also be with my other band members, and it might just be hard. Maybe I'll go out for breakfast and do a quick live show from somewhere on location, but I'll be in Gundagai. So you might get a live show tomorrow, but letting you know, don't stress if you don't. So on Friday, that is, you will get a proper live show tomorrow morning, Thursday, possibly not live on Friday. That's what I'm trying to say. And come and see me do my thing and shake my money maker. I knew it was you, Jason. That's right. I thought it was you. Wow, we could have the meeting of the worlds here, Jason, on Friday night. You could come to the show. Jason, let me see if I don't know if I can, but if I can, let me see if I can find, if I can get some complimentary tickets for you. Okay? As a subscriber, you should get your perks, other than seeing my beautiful face every single morning and joining in my wonderful discussions with me, my left-leaning friend. Let's see if I can get you a couple of tickets. So can you shoot me an email, Jason? Shoot me an email, please, to, I've got to fix that thing, gmstackers@gmail.com. Jason, if you want to come see me do my thing for free tomorrow, and you can bring a friend, so I'll try and get 2 free tickets for you. Can you please send me an email right now? So I've got your email address. I probably have it when you entered some competitions that we did, but I don't want to troll through those. Send me an email, and if you want to come, if I can get you a couple of complimentary tickets, let me know, and I might be able to come and see me do my thing on Friday, and then we'll have a chat after the show, and because we go out and speak to everyone and all that kind of stuff, and I'll meet a real live subscriber. That'd be cool, and one of the greatest subscribers to the channel. So let me know that, my friend. Get his autograph. Yeah, exactly. Fun fact: first hubby was a gold miner and buried just over an ounce of gold. Wow, there you go. Cheers, you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. We've talked about what we need to talk about, and now we get out of here and we do the final synchronized slurp. Grab your tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together while we dancing out too, because this has been
Good Morning Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good Morning Stack. It's podcast
Grab it.
time. Grab a tasty beverage.
Let's do that. 3, 2, 1, go.
Now we're on the move.
Good sesh, people. See you tomorrow morning, bright and early, at 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern standard time. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking what you're stacking. See you tomorrow. Bye.